Who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30.
Money is on Blake Lively being wrong. All right, you guys, it is.
The times where people ignore the red flags and say, let's just keep pushing.
Of a distraction. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude.
Those are the times where you fail. The majority of things that we're buying are created by men. You always learn more from your failures than you do your successes.
Plus your career in Hollywood. And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive.
Did Justin Baldoni's legal victory really end Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' careers? You won't believe how fast everything unraveled. From Hollywood royalty to a devastating fall from grace. It seems like the two most beloved stars in Hollywood just couldn't escape the ripple effects of a courtroom battle. It started like any other lawsuit, a brief public spat, a legal issue between industry professionals. But what came next shocked everyone, and no one could have predicted the chain of events that followed. As soon as the case hit the courtrooms, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, a couple once known for their perfect image, began losing everything. Their empire, built on fame, wealth, and massive influence, was on the verge of collapse.
Producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's it. As the
Money is on Blake Lively being wrong. All right, you guys, it is.
Time progressed in this film. She decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to.
And the very thing they never saw coming was the power behind Justin Baldoni's legal victory. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were once seen as the golden couple of Hollywood. Together, they were the epitome of success. Hollywood stars who seemed to have it all. The audience adored them. The paparazzi followed them. Every project they worked on became a massive success. And their personal lives were just as perfect. Blake, the stunning actress who stole the show in everything from Gossip Girl to A Simple Favor, was at the top of her game. Ryan, with his charm, wit, and roles in hits like Deadpool and The Proposal, had carved out his own empire. Together, they were a dynamic duo that everyone admired. They were business moguls, too, with their hands in multiple successful ventures, from Reynolds Aviation Gin to the thriving Wrexham Football Club. On top of that, they had lucrative brand deals, countless fans, and a reputation as one of the most lovable, relatable couples in Hollywood. But despite their seemingly perfect lives, everything started to crumble when Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against them went public. At first, people thought this was just another Hollywood dispute that would get lost in the noise. It seemed small. Another contractual disagreement, perhaps. A minor setback.
Those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
Finally, I've been teasing that all week, and let me just say to all of the women out there.
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood.
That are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full.
Maybe even a nuisance. But as the lawsuit gained momentum, it became clear that there was more to it than anyone expected. Justin Baldoni, the director and actor behind the hit movie 5 Feet Apart, had found himself locked in a battle with Blake and Ryan over a project they were working on together. The legal documents and media coverage didn't make much noise at first, but soon the situation exploded. The lawsuit wasn't just about a movie, wasn't just about a contract. It was about reputation, power, and who could control the narrative. What followed wasn't just a legal fight. It was a battle that would alter the entire trajectory of the careers and lives of Blake and Ryan. The stakes were high, and no one, not even the biggest stars in Hollywood, could escape the fallout. The real twist came when Justin's legal team, led by Brian Friedman, began winning every single battle in court. Hollywood was stunned. In the first showdown, Blake Lively's attempt to silence Baldoni with a gag order was denied by the judge, who sided with...
I love creating, and I think that as women, you're not often given authorship.
And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed...
Yet women represent 85% of people making purchases in homes across all categories.
Up to be an executive producer, and that's it. As the time progressed in this film,
Justin's legal team. The entire court session was full of tension, and the outcome was clear. Justin had won. This wasn't just some celebrity spat that would fade with time. The courtroom victories kept stacking up against Blake and Ryan. In the second major clash, the judge refused to grant Blake a lengthy extension to file an amendment, granting her just 1 day to make her case. The tension in Hollywood was palpable. The case was escalating, and it was starting to look like the couple was on the losing end of a very public fight. As the court battles continued, the ramifications began to reach far beyond the courtroom. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds started to feel the pressure as their business dealings began to collapse. The brands that had once partnered with them began to distance themselves, and some even pulled out altogether. Blake's line of hair care products, Blake Brown, which had been a huge success, was suddenly pulled from store shelves. Reports surfaced that customers were returning the products in droves, and soon, Target announced they would no longer carry the line. The damage to Blake's reputation was mounting. Consumers were upset and, more importantly, they were losing trust in her brand. It wasn't just a loss in the beauty industry. It was a massive blow to her entire business empire. Meanwhile, Ryan's investments were also being scrutinized. Wrexham FC, which he co-owns, was at the center of growing...
And I'm grateful. I think we're all grateful. And I think we're good.
Decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of
A distraction. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude.
The editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as
rumors about his involvement in questionable decisions, and his other ventures, including Aviation Gin, were being impacted as well. The financial fallout from this lawsuit was more than just legal fees. It was affecting their livelihoods. With business deals falling apart and their brand image in tatters, Blake and Ryan were facing an existential crisis. The damage had been done, and it wasn't just affecting their bank accounts. It was dismantling everything they had worked so hard to build. But the financial devastation wasn't the only consequence. The personal toll this lawsuit had on Blake and Ryan was just as severe. In court, Blake Lively admitted that the case had turned her life upside down. The strain on her marriage to Ryan was palpable, and it was starting to take a toll on her mental health. She confessed that the legal battle was causing emotional stress on their children as well. Allegations surfaced that Justin Baldoni's legal moves had caused significant trauma to her kids, and the family was emotionally uprooted in ways that left a lasting impact on their well-being. For a couple who had always seemed to have everything together, it was clear that this lawsuit was threatening to tear them apart. The public image of the perfect family was crumbling, and behind closed doors, the emotional burden was taking its toll. What made matters even worse was the involvement of Justin Baldoni's mysterious backer, Steve Sarowitz. A billionaire in his own right, Sarowitz had the financial power to back Baldoni's entire legal battle, and it was soon revealed that he wasn't just providing financial support. He was funding the lawsuit with no plans to stop. Sarowitz, worth an estimated $2.5 billion, had already pumped millions into the case and was reportedly ready to continue funding it indefinitely. Rumors even surfaced that Sarowitz was willing to spend up to one...
Finally, I've been teasing that all week, and let me just say to all of the women out there.
The times where people ignore the red flags and say, let's just keep pushing, those are the times
that are watching. No matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full.
where you fail. The majority of things that we're buying are created by men. You always learn more from your failures than you do your success.
$100 million just to ensure that Blake and Ryan's careers were over for good. This billionaire's resources were practically unlimited, and with him backing Baldoni, the lawsuit seemed like an unstoppable force. While Blake and Ryan were struggling to keep their heads above water, Sarowitz's resources ensured that the case would drag on for as long as it needed to. As their financial situation worsened and their reputation continued to deteriorate, it became clear that the couple didn't just have a legal issue. They were up against a financial powerhouse that could afford to win at any cost. As Hollywood watched in shock, the couple's reputation continued to crumble. Studios, brands, and business partners that had once been eager to work with Blake and Ryan began to quietly back away. Their once celebrated status as A-list actors was suddenly in jeopardy. The offers for new roles dried up, and even their personal brands, built on years of hard work, were slipping through their fingers. Blake and Ryan were no longer seen as the charming, marketable couple they had once been. In the cutthroat world of Hollywood, their tarnished reputation made them too risky to invest in, and their downfall had only just begun. Every move they made was now under scrutiny, and the damage to their careers seemed irreversible. No one could predict just how far-reaching the consequences would be. So, where does that leave Blake and Ryan now? With their careers, reputations, and financial futures hanging by a thread, it's unclear how they can ever recover from this catastrophic series of events. Hollywood is treating them like radioactive material, and the legal battles show no signs of slowing down. As their empire continues to crumble, they face a future filled with uncertainty. Will they ever regain the public's trust, or is this the end of their reign in Hollywood? Stay tuned, because this explosive saga is far from over, and we'll be watching closely to see what happens next.